Hey guys, Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you've all had a wonderful time. Thanks for stopping by as usual. Just before we get cracking with this video, I just want to make sure if you're watching this that you tune in on Monday for our end of year special. It's going to be quite a big video and I really need as many of my subs to see that as possible. So if you could tune into that one, that would be absolutely awesome. Anyway, look at this bad boy. Let's have a look. Boom! Tamiya Egress. What a piece of Tamiya history we have here. So obviously this is a re-kit. The original was on 58079, which was released in June 1989. As I say, this is a re version which came out in 2013 on part number 58583. We're going to talk about the changes from the original. We're going to talk about what my plans are for this car. We're going to talk about what my plans of running gear in this car are going to be, which is going to be something a little bit different. But before we get into the box, this has a sort of special place for me. And that's because, well, let's get into that. So the Egress is so special to me because of one simple reason, and that's because I remember how difficult it was to get an Egress, to restore one, to find one in half decent shape. Before 2013, this was one of Tamiya's, I'd say, most hard to get hold of cars, and obviously the parts were even worse. So this picture I'm showing you now is one that I built in, I believe, around about 2003. Now that one was actually built on the Avanti 2001 chassis, which was very, very similar. The eagle-eyed of you will notice the front bumper. That's a big giveaway to it's a 2001. But that took so much of time and effort and cash to get that. I had to source the original high caps. I believe that had original decals on, but I probably need to check that. I had to buy the wheels and tyres and things. Even the wheels and tyres, where you jump on eBay now and you can get Egress wheels and tyres no problem. Back then, they were like rocking horse poo. It was really ridiculous. So it was one of those cars I never had as a youngster. I didn't really hear of it. Now, I wasn't heavily into the racing scene or whatever. This is what this car was developed for by Tamiya. It took all the best bits of the Avanti and then they improved it with the Egress. Now, I have a theory on this car. This car was out when the Optima mid-turbos, Cats, Yokomos were on the racetrack. And I'm not too sure if it did compete. I have no knowledge on the racing. I know our own Jamie Booth ran one and did pretty well with it, I believe. But my theory is, and this is what I've read on forums as well, because when the Avanti came out, it was so expensive, and I don't like calling it a flop, but it never kind of made it on the racetrack, which it was designed for. I believe that when the Egress was released, that a lot of model shops didn't really want to take it. They didn't want it left on the shelf. So that's why the things were so rare, because there weren't that many about. Now my theory is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I bet Tamiya have sold more 2013 Egresses than they did originals back in the day. I could be way wrong. It just kind of feels like that. What else is there to say about it? So as I say, we're going to talk about the changes. I've got some bits on order. So this looks to me like the original artwork. The box has some changes. The bottom right hand corner used to have an exploded chassis diagram. With the battery in the car and things like that, and probably the motor. That's gone from it, but the actual car box itself looks identical to me. The actual car itself, the three main changes for me, which I'm going to put right on this one. I'm going to make this one look like the original. The first one is the shocks. So I'm going to stick some pictures up of the shocks. What they did was, the original had these left and right lower shock mounts that bolted onto the front arms, and then the shocks went on. So on the modern day one now, you got your shock tower up here. The angle was really splayed out on the shocks, where in actual fact on the original it was more like that, and it's very noticeable. If you don't know about the original and you're quite new to Tamiya, then you see the Egress and you think, yeah, it just looks as it did back in the day. but if you stick it next to an original with that shock angle, it's completely different. So I've actually sourced a pair of these brackets. Now these are rarer than Rocking Horse Poo, but put a couple of wanted ads out, and some guys have come up trumps on me. So I've actually got a pair on the way to me now, which is awesome. The second thing that, again, is no biggie, I don't know if you can see it, the original Egress had blue turnbuckle ends, 4 pairs obviously. Now the black one, sorry, the 2013 comes with black. It's no biggie whatsoever, but the blue turnbuckles is one of the things that made the original Egress stand out for me, because the blue turnbuckles looked kind of odd on it with the rest of the car. It was just odd that they'd used blue. Anyway, I've sourced an original set of blue turnbuckles as well. Now they're used, but they're in great condition. But because they're originals, I've got, so they're winging the way to me as well, which is mega cool. So actually, I should shout out I should say a massive thank you to Naz for the lower shock mounts, and a massive thank you to Roy for the turnbuckles. The third thing I need to change, I've also ordered a set of reproduction original Mci decals, and basically for 2 decals, which is this black decal here that goes on the side. The font, the Tamiya font, completely changed on the original for some reason. The whole decal looks very same, and at a glance, if you put them side by side, you wouldn't really notice. But as I say, so I've ordered a set of those. So that's the 3 changes I'm going to be making to it. Right, let's have a look in the box. Guys, what I should have just added was, if you are after the blue turnbuckles, a little secret that I guess a few of you do know. If you source the Tamiya Super Clodbuster Part F parts tree, that comes with obviously brand new blue turnbuckles. So if you are restoring an Egress or what's the other one, the Terra Scorcher, that's a little bit of good news, because they're usually readily available on eBay, and they're quite cheap. Well, look at that box art. You just know there's something special inside this box, don't you? I know I'm biased and I'm giddy about these things, but it's beautiful. It's one of the bigger boxes that Tamiya do. Probably the biggest size box they do, actually. But what a... I just love that. Let's get the lid off it. Oh my word. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, you don't want to build it, do you? You just want to sit it on a shelf looking at it. Absolutely love it. Old school blister packaging from Tamiya. Obviously when they re-read the Avanti in 2011, they continued that sort of packaging style, and obviously then in 2 years later they did it with the Egress, but absolutely class. So obviously if you don't know about the Egress, it's 4-wheel drive, basically a competition buggy. Comes as standard, full carbon, double deck chassis, carbon shock towers, fully ball raced, beautiful high cap shocks. What else is there? I think you'll know the rest. So I think what we'll do is we'll just start having a close-up on the parts. So in that first section you can see the double deck carbon chassis, some carbon reinforced plates, beautiful high cap shocks, the new strengthened front uprights, hex wheel adapters, and that's the centre diff unit, I believe. I have opened these already, so I took the tape off just so you can see what's inside. So first stage, you've got your 3-piece wing. Obviously the Egress comes with that huge rear wing. Beautiful Egress wheels. And we've just got a couple of bags. There's not a great deal to this buggy, to be honest. That's the black turnbuckles, which obviously I'll be changing for blue. That's most of the damper parts by the looks of it. More turnbuckles, bearings. Also got parts bag here. We've got a pinion in there, the diff grease, standard grease. More ball races in the back. Parts bag C. I'm not going to open these bags, obviously. Keep it as it is for now until we start build. It's got the carbon steering linkage there. Don't know if you can see that. A load more ball races. This has 3 diffs. This has a centre diff unit as well. Right, let's have a look at the other section. So obviously in this compartment we've got the front and rear carbon shock towers, we've got the big metal motor mount. That's the actual alloy motor mount that fits on the motor, and then you can adjust it on this section. Prop shaft, drive shafts, front and rear propeller joints, one-way bearing. I'd forgotten about that. I'd forgotten it had a one-way as standard. Yeah, that's interesting. See if we can lift this out without, in fact, let's do it two hands. And then just in the bottom of that we just have all our plastics, of which there's a little bit, there's a fair bit. Sorry, bag rustling on a YouTube video is mega annoying, so I apologise for that. But you get the gist of it. And then in the centre section we have the Egress body shell and obviously the tyres, which is a cool way of packaging, I think. It looks mega cool. Within that we also underneath have the large under tray that goes on. There is one pack of diffs, I think, bevel gears, and the beautiful decals. Now I should have done a side-by-side comparison, to be honest, of what's changed, but it's this one here. This, oh dear, sorry about that. Let's hold it up. So it's that out in front Tamiya that's changed. As I say, the black and the lines I believe are identical. It's the Tamiya writing, the font, that's changed. I'm just having a quick look over to see if there's any other changes that I recognise. Not too sure. I'm not too sure if the GR Racing fuel changed and the RPM, but as I say, I'll do a comparison when the MCI ones turn up, and then obviously there's a manual underneath. So one seriously cool piece of Tamiya kit. Now I've been debating what I was going to run in it. I can see myself keeping this for a little bit longer than I normally do with cars, a little bit like I did with the Top Force, because I have got new brush motors that I plan to use when we start coming out of winter, and this is probably going to be the car to do it. Now my favourite Tamiya car out of the box is probably the Top Force. I just think it's an amazing car straight out of the box. This might be a little bit controversial, but I think the standard Top Force is a better car than the Egress. Sorry, and don't get me wrong, I love this thing, but you've got to bear in mind that the DF01 came out way after this, took all the good bits of this, the best bits of geometry and what have you, the handling characteristics, and they came up with the DF01. Now obviously that was sort of the Manta Ray, but from that developed a Top Force and then onto the Evo. So it's the reason I'm sort of spouting that out is I want to run this properly, use different batteries, different motors, things like that. Do GPS speeds, 2S, 3S, you know, just all that stuff I did with the Top Force, and just see. I mean, I know straight out of the box this is going to be awesome anyway, but it's going to be a nice sort of mental comparison for me to have it up against the standard Top Force, which, as I say, I love. So running gear wise, I've done something slightly different now as we speak on this video, which is, what's the date? Is it 27th? Yeah, the 27th. I'm just looking at buying a Tamiya brushless motor. Now they're mega expensive. You know, you can get a Tamiya 10.5T brushless for about £60, maybe more. You know, and you can get a bloody combo unit way cheaper than that. But it's kind of a thing I want to do. I want to use the Tamiya running gear, which I think is going to be mega cool, because obviously we've done it in the brushed. Now obviously, probably every man and his dog who've got Tamiya cars has 5 or 6 Tamiya TBL, or what is it, TBLE or 2 electronic speed controls kicking around. You get them in every kit. You don't get it in this kit, but you get them in every kit. And all I do with them is put them on the shelf, because to me, I've never ran a brushless motor on one. And obviously we do brushed and brushless. So for a brush speedo, it's not great, because it's got I believe it's a 23 turn motor limit on it. 23 turn, have I got that right? Yeah, I think I have. What's a 23 turn Tamiya motor? The RZ Super Stock, that's 23 turn. So I think it can run that. Do you know what? I'm not even sure it goes down to 23. I may be wrong. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But the point is, because it's got a high motor wind limit for a brush motor, they kind of just, you either use it with a 540 or a sport tuned, and that's all you use it for. But then I'm thinking, well, if I actually do buy a nice quality Tamiya brushless motor, that speedo's made for it, you know. Now there is a couple of things I've learned since to use a TBLE02S speed controller in brushless mode. It needs a fan, which Tamiya do a fan for it because it can overheat, and you definitely need the sensor lead, the brushless sensor lead. So I've just asked Tony's Tamiya Parts for a quote for a 10.5 motor, sensor lead and the fan, which I think will be mega cool to me. It's going to be a lot of money, don't get me wrong, and I could do it way cheaper, but that's not the point of this channel, you know. I get in the comments now and again, people go, you could have used this and that and cheap. I'm a Tamiya channel, I want to use Tamiya gear, you know. Yeah, it's not the most cost effective way of doing it, but bear in mind it's for YouTube videos, and this is going to be an epic build. And I just think at the end of it, if it's sat there with the Tamiya running gear, it's got the fan on the speed on that, and it's all new to me, and I can also have a play with that motor as well. Could be wrong again, but I'm pretty sure that brushless motor has adjustable timing on it as well. Now I've no idea if that works the same as like a modified brush motor, but it's something I want to get into. Also, can it be programmed? Because it's censored. Maybe I can program it as well. No idea. But it's all good stuff for the future anyway. So that's the plan, as I say. So we've got a 2013 Egress. We're going to have the blue original turnbuckles on. We're going to have the lower correct shock mounts on it, which is mega cool. And we're going to change at least 2 decals to make it look more like the original. It'll be 100% box art, because this thing is stunning. It also looks stunning in white. I've seen them in many colours. Again, I'm a box art man, as you all know, but I think you can get away with it in white. It looks pretty epic. But we'll be going with a gunmetal grey. I think it's gunmetal grey. Yes, it is. And we'll back it with black, so the under tray will be sprayed. Whereas on the top force, I like a clear under tray, but on the Egress, for me, it has to be box art, it has to be the silver or the gunmetal grey. And then we'll back it with black, because I just think that looks good. Whether I'll back the body or not, probably not. I've probably done 3, maybe 4 Egress shells, and I've never backed it, and they look immense. And obviously the original decals have these smoked windows, so obviously you mask them, spray them, and then put that smoked effect on, and they just look ace. People put drivers in these, and they look okay. I'm not a massive fan myself. This is one of those cars for me that doesn't need a driver figure in, and also takes up some valuable space for your running gear. But I'm not knocking people who have. It looks great, but it's not in the Manta Ray League or the Dirt Thrasher League that came with no driver. You put one in and it absolutely transforms the car. Don't actually think it does on this particular car, but that's just my opinion. So that's pretty much it, guys. I've babbled on long enough. So what have you seen now in the last week? So you saw the Falcon, the Rough Rider, the Wild One, the Custom Sand Scorcher, and now the Egress. We've got one more brand new in-box kit coming from overseas. It's not as good as this one, but it's going to make a cool project. But we'll talk about that later. So I think that's it. If you've stayed this long, guys, please tune in for Monday's end of year special, because I really want people to sort of like, share, comment, and push that video out so as many of my subs can see it as possible. That'd be awesome. So anyway, guys, I'll let you get back to your turkey or whatever you're eating, or your booze, your drink, and all that good stuff, and crap TV. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. And as always, guys, happy RCing.